The other day, I was given the opportunity to teach a class of 7-year-olds how to paint. I asked them to paint whatever makes them happy. We turned out with many different paintings, from spaceships to pumpkins to rainbows and flowers. It gave me so much joy to see the kids have fun and enjoy what they were doing. Painting is a passion, and teaching kids is a joy. Mixing those two together to create a dream job would be amazing. This got me thinking about my future. Maybe I want to be an art teacher. So I turned to my high school art teacher, Mr. Cruikshank, to ask him about what keeps him motivated to be a teacher and what inspired him to be a teacher. My first obvious question was what inspired him to become an art teacher and a teacher in general.
They're actually kind of separate things, the art, being a teacher and being the art teacher, as far as how I discovered them and fell into them. So as a teacher, I originally thought I was going to be a physical ed major. Then I ended up being an elementary ed major. And then when I was looking for an elementary ed position, I discovered an arts secondary position at Jefferson High School. And I went for the interview not really thinking I had the right credentials, but I had the right number of units that they hired me, and that's why I was like, oh my God, now I need to learn how to do this. So, but I had studied architecture for a year at a fairly decent architecture school, and they were, during the crits, I was usually slammed, or I was very mediocre. And I think I had potential to grow, but I think their tough love kind of backfired because I found it disheartening. And I seem to remember the head of the department actually saying, I don't remember his actual words, but he said some stuff that was basically, you're not really cut out for this. And so and I think that was meant to be tough love, but what it made me do is look at what my friends were doing, and my best friend, she was a physical ed major, and that's when the transition happened. And then the art education really was accidental. And discovering Oceana High School was really, again, one of those pivotal moments, because I worked for a couple of years at Jefferson High, but they didn't rehire me because I was probationary. And for one reason or another, they didn't hire me. My mentor teacher was upset by that. She thought I should have been hired permanently. But she also knew of a position over here, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was integration in the humanities, so I'd work with the students. So I came and got the interview here, and then ended up working, integrating art projects with humanities classes. So all the humanities students would see me 3 or 4 times a year for 2 to 4 periods a year, each time. So anyway, so I saw a lot of kids, and that was very exciting. That was a very exciting time for me, because I was learning a lot, as well as I was discovering my own capacity to create powerful lesson plans.
And then, from like original job, wanting to be a
Phys ed, yeah, I was going to be a PE teacher, basically.
What made you choose this in general? Like wanting to be a teacher, or?
Well, originally I wanted to be an architect from the age of 12.
Okay.
So that was the original goal, and and then the phys ed was sort of PE teacher was a fleeting moment. Then I trained for 4 years to be an elementary teacher, and then fell into the arts education. Education in general, what draws me to it? I say to anybody thinking about teaching, it's not your subject. Your subject is the second thing that you have to care about. The first thing you have to care about is kids. Do you like being around young people? If you don't like being around young people, it doesn't matter how much you like art, or art history, or humanities, or math. It's irrelevant, because if you don't want to be stuck in a class with 32 kids who are sometimes annoying, mostly at this school delightful, but then it's not the right gig for you. It just so happens that my personal passion is for art. And so I have this, my professional passion is for working with young people. My personal passion is for art, and I found myself to be so lucky that I can bring the two together in what was a series of unexpected events in my life and choices in my life that I could not have anticipated that they would bring me to where I am, which I've been doing now for 20 years at this school. Yeah. So.
Do you still enjoy teaching?
I love it. I love it. I gave the kids this morning a hard time, and it was the honor roll today, and the kids weren't behaving very well, and it's really annoyed me, and nobody else corrected them. So when it was my turn, I was like, I got all crookshank, bombastic British on them, and but I said, look, I brag about coming to work every day, and my number one reason is how much I enjoy working with this particular student body. So why don't you give me something to brag about tonight? Show me how you can behave better. And they sat too, and they were much better. But that's the thing, I enjoy coming to work. I look forward to coming to work, and it's a rare day that I have to step into one of those moments. And mostly I can just show my enthusiasm and my excitement for the material, the information, the ideas that I want to share with the students, and then bring that, and then they bring their enthusiasm and, for the most part, their eagerness to learn. I mean, I know not every school can say that, but we're lucky enough that the majority of our students really do want to learn. I mean, I think every kid actually wants to learn. Some students are just haven't been offered enough opportunities to recognize that in themselves. So it's a latent desire to learn. The majority of the kids, though, they do, and if you provide them stimulating material and opportunities, then it's going to be a great day for everybody. So yeah, I love what I do. I'm going to keep on doing it until I retire. And that I never thought would be the case. I thought it was going to, at one point I thought it was just going to be own my own gym. That was the goal. I was going to teach for 5 years, use my income to pay for business classes and health-related classes, and then segue into, trying to buy a gym or own a gym or start a gym or something. And gave up on that idea 2 years into it. It was like, I like this. This is what I want to do.
And then, do you think that teaching art in schools is beneficial?
Oh, of course, beyond a doubt. All the research backs up how it benefits all learning in all of the schools. So it's not just about, most of my kids and students are not going to be art majors. I think it's less than 5%, maybe it's 2 or 3% will go into the arts, including some of the applied arts like architecture and graphics. Almost none of them will be fine artists, with a studio and making trying to eke out a living and get shows and exhibitions. All of them will benefit from taking the class, and I think there are many ways they benefit. But I think the point I'm trying to make to my students these days is they need to develop their imaginations. They need to, and if they've got a good imagination, they need to exercise it. If their imagination's still still limited, they need more opportunities to expand it. Because I think it was in a workshop I went to, or a presentation I went to about the brain, and how somebody made the connection about imagination and empathy. And empathy is something that's is essential in every walk of life. You're going to be a better human for it. You're going to be a better colleague for it. You're going to be a better employee for it. And also there's lots of job opportunities out there for people that are empathetic. especially in the field of medicine, which is continuing to grow and will always be a boom industry as we get older and older population. And being empathetic is really a handy skill. And being able to visualize, you know, whether it's a surgeon or a firefighter, you need to be able to visualize a surgeon or doctor, you need to visualize what the illness is by exercising your imagination, by pulling together the pieces of evidence in front of you. If it's a firefighter, you need to envision the best route into the building, how to, you know, the best equipment to use. This, you know, so it all requires imagination, and the more capable you are of imagining things, I think the better you will be at whatever you choose to do, even if it's not being an artist.
And then, with your own work, do you still make time after classes and after school to pursue your own work and still take pleasure in doing that?
I was very strict this past year or year and a half, not so much. I had other priorities like getting married. But I have more ideas than I know what to do with. So, and I know that once I finish teaching, and I hope to retire at 62, that potentially gives me another 10, 20, 30, hopefully not 40 years to, or maybe 40 if I'm fit and healthy and still inspired, but you know, I've got another career to be had, so a lot of those ideas are on hold, but next year I'm hoping that I can get back to how I was about 2 or 3 years ago, where my summers were sort of sacred, and I didn't make much during the year, but being an educator, having an academic calendar, that my summers were very important to me, and I would get very dedicated, very serious, and I did churn out some work. But my work's really elaborate, it's experimental, I don't really have an outlet for it. I've not been pursuing a career as an artist, I've been pursuing a career as an art educator, yet I'm compelled to make art, and I'm having the problem of storage. I don't have room anymore. So I am starting to work smaller. But even if I work small, I have this idea of, you know, multiple pieces, and that needs storage. So ultimately, you know, it's not a big deal that I'm not making a lot of art right now. And I'm comforted in the knowledge that I will make all the things that I envision, even if I have to wait until I retire.
Like, are you happy with the choices you made to bring you where you are today?
Yes, in every aspect of my life. Yeah, my husband is an artist. We bonded over art, you know, in many ways. You know, whether it was going on a date to a gallery, or whether it was sitting over dinner and, you know, bouncing ideas off of each other. Art is part of my everyday existence. So whether I make it or not, I'm still immersed in it. So, no, I often marvel about this, and, you know, where's the wood to knock on? All the choices I made led me here, and I'm fortunate. I don't quite know how to, you know, because not all of those choices were led to pleasant or comfortable or enjoyable moments in my life. I had a few some bumps along the way, you know, as I should. But wherever I took those paths, those routes, made those choices at that time, paid off. And where for many years now I've been happy in almost every moment of my life. And that's, I know that I'm incredibly fortunate to be able to say that, because there's actually few people that get to say that, and I feel very, very. I'm not a religious man, but I feel very blessed to be able to say it.
This interview was inspiring. Now that I see that the hardships and twists and turns that Mr. Cruikshank had to go to led him to his happiness, it inspires me to do the same, and I hope my path leads me the same way.